Our test speaker this morning, Renee Hawk. Water ski life lessons. Water ski life lessons. Please help me welcome Renee Hawk.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, have you ever decided to learn something new and in the process realize that you learned about life? When I think about my years of water skiing, I realize that's actually what has happened to me. I'd like to share with you 3 stories, and from those 3 stories, 4 lessons that I learned about life. My family started water skiing when I was about 9. First, my dad taught my brother, my older brother Greg, and then he taught me. He gave me all the instructions within the boat, and just as a last reminder, he said, "Now, Renee, remember, when you say go, the boat is going to pull the rope hard. Hold on and stand up." "Okay, Dad." Back behind the boat, I'm stabilizing my skis as best I can, and I think I'm ready. So I say it. Go! The boat pulls hard on the rope. My feet flip back behind me. My skis blow off, and I hold on. I hold on while the water flows over my head. I hold on. Well, finally, I did let go. I learned to water ski, but on that day, I learned to pay attention to all of the instructions. Hold on and stand up. So I did stand up eventually. I skied on 2 skis and eventually 1 ski. And my dad and my brother loved to water ski. I thought it was all right, but they really loved it, and I couldn't understand why until one day. One day, the sky was clear, and the air was warm, and the water was smooth. And I was behind the boat, skiing, thinking about Greg, my older brother, and how he skis, more like a slalom ski. And then it happened. I fell into a rhythm, and I was turning and swaying, crossing over both wakes and then back again. Suddenly, I loved water skiing. I finally figured out why they loved water skiing. It was that rhythm. On that day, I learned, when learning something new, stick with it. You might find out you actually like it. Well, I liked it so much, I must have motivated my friend Bill, who wanted to learn to ski. Bill came along with us. We gave him all the instructions, and he was amazing. The first time out on 2 skis, he popped right up. We were impressed. He was crossing over the wakes and turning on his first time. Then he signaled for us to turn and stop. So we circled back around to pick him up, and he floated his water ski to the boat and said, "I'm going to try single skiing." Okay, he did so well, fine. Again, amazingly, he popped right up, no problem. Of course, he didn't get dragged like I did. And then he was skiing and he was turning and swaying. He was doing great. And then he signaled for us to turn. And then he signaled more vigorously. And then he threw the rope up. And as I turned around to tell Dad, who was driving the boat, that Bill was down, I saw the shore coming. It wasn't water ahead of the boat anymore. Boom, boom, boom. We landed on the shore 30 feet from the water's edge. Wow, that's never happened before. Well, I look around, silent. Everybody's okay. I don't know what to do. And then Dad burst into laughter. Now we could all laugh. Well, with some ingenuity and some logs, we got the boat back into the water, not before Bill walked ashore. On that day, I learned my third and fourth lessons. Third, watch where you're going. And fourth, when things go awry, and once you've made sure everyone's okay, be able to laugh about it. Water skiing's been a great experience for me in my life. I learned those life lessons at the same time. I learned pay attention to all of the instructions. Hold on and stand up. Second, what? Stick with it. You might find out you actually like it. Third, watch where you're going. And fourth, when things go awry, and once you've made sure everyone's okay, be able to laugh about it. I think I was pretty open-minded. Yes, I learned water skiing, but I learned some other things too. I think I was the ready student. I'd like to encourage you to be open-minded. Be the ready student, because when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Renee. Renee, your speech was so entertaining, even all the 8 nervous contestants enjoyed it. There are 3 things I want to point out that you did exceptionally well. Number 1, the message. You had a great message in your speech. You said, get out of your comfort zone, do something new, experience life. We're all cooped up in our lives and we don't want to experience new experiences in the life. You said, get out, do something. You have inspired me today. Alligator wrestling, here I come. Second thing that you did was the vocal variety that you had. You showed it 2 times, first when you had your brother's commanding voice, and the second time when you showed when you get to the rhythm of the sport. Most times when we get into a sport, first it's novelty, we enjoy it, and then it comes down, the traction comes down. But if you keep at it, you will get to a point where you enjoy the rhythm. And all of that, you just put that in the vocal variety. Very well. Third thing, your opening and closing. You said, well, when you are ready, the student is ready, the teacher will come. That's a very powerful message. Because most of the times we're blaming somebody else. Oh no, I don't want public speaking, I'm a private speaking person. You asked us to be ready. That was great. I want to give you 3 things, 3 suggestions to make your speech even better. Number 1, audience analysis. When you're speaking to a crowd, you may want to look into the type of audience, the composition. You know, I was in the audience. I have no idea about water skiing and used the term single ski. I didn't know what that meant. So if you're introducing new terms, you may want to explain that. And the second thing I want to tell you is adaptation. I believe you wanted the lecture to be moved, and it was not moved, and you were just situated over here. So adapt at the last minute, because you never know what will come your way. The third thing I want to mention is use sets of 3s. You said 3 stories and 4 lessons. Make sure you use 3 stories and 3 lessons. So, in summary, great message, great opening and closing, and I absolutely loved the way you put the whole speech together. 3 suggestions is make sure you have sets of 3, adaptation, and then audience analysis. I enjoyed your humor, Mr.